with invisible illnesses, realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself, but time marches on. What the hell else are you going to do? Um, yeah, speaking of time marching on, it appears that I may have long COVID because why the hell not? I go back to the doctor Wednesday. I'm really curious what she's going to have to say, but um, I felt okay Saturday. And then we're right back to the nasty sinus headache. And I'm not coughing as much as I was. So, I mean, it's better. It's definitely better. But holy crap, these sinus headaches are just making me nuts. But anyway, let's talk about owning your BS. This information is from the book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. What you choose to focus on becomes your reality. It's the truth. So what's your BS? What kind of crap are you telling yourself? Money is bad. No, it's not. Money is inanimate. Money is money is what you make of it. Money's like almost everything else in your life. It's what you make of it. Maybe you tell yourself, "Oh, I can't lose any weight." Well, guess what? No. No, you can't. If that's your attitude, you are 100% correct. You cannot. Oh, I'll never find a boyfriend or a girlfriend. No, not if that's your attitude. And it's always funny when someone says, "Well, there's just no good men or women left." Like, really? So your friend that has the good relationship, they got the last one on the entire planet. How many billions of people are there? Really? No, man. You got to own your BS. You got to own it. These stories, these excuses. You know what an excuse is? Besides a lot of BS, it's a lie that you're telling yourself. But here's the thing. We cling to these because they serve a purpose. What? No, they really do. The good news, it's all fixable. Just about everything is fixable. I won't say everything, but most things are pretty fixable. So here are some steps to help you challenge the crap that you tell yourself and help you create a new life, a happier life, a new perspective, hopefully. So obviously, we cannot fix a problem that we will not face. So you need to make a list of all your bullshit. Excuse my language, but you and only you are in charge of your life. Nobody else Nobody else is. They can influence you, but at the end of the day, you're the one responsible because it's your life. So make a list of when you say things like, "Oh, I never, oh, I always screw things up." Really? Always? No, you don't. You're just being ridiculously hard on yourself. I never do anything right. Sure, you do. Oh, I should do that. Then do it. Then do it. If it's something you should do, as my friend Doug says, don't shit all over yourself. If it's something you should do, get off your ass and do it. I can't. No, not if that's your attitude. You are correct. You cannot. Oh, I'm no good at that. Then get better. I mean, it's both that simple and that complicated at the same time. The complication is most of us don't want to do the work. But it really is that simple. If you're not happy, fix your shit. Excuse my language. I don't feel good, so I'm not even going to bother trying to censor myself tonight. I want that. I want to be that way. Okay, then be that way. Tell yourself instead of, oh, I wish I was like that or I want to be like that. Tell yourself I am like that. And then you'll start to become the person who is like that. As those of us of a certain age will remember there was a commercial back in the 80s. Attitude is everything. It really is. How you talk to yourself, the bullshit that you tell yourself, it makes you or breaks you. I don't have the skills for that. Then get them. I don't have time. We have 24 hours in the day. If it's something that really is meaningful to you, you're going to find time for it. That includes people. Never ask anybody, never beg somebody to spend time with you. If they make it clear they're not interested, bye, Felicia. Go find better people. I don't have the skills for that. Or one day, my favorite, one day I'll do that. No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll try. I'll try to get that done. I'll try to come to your party. No, you won't. You just gave yourself an out when you said you'll try. If you wanted to come to the party, you'd have said, yes, I'll be there. Make a list of all these things. Then you need to figure out this is really important. You need to look at this list of your shoulds and your can'ts and your I wish I'd look it over carefully. This is the hard part. You need to figure out what the advantage is, what your benefit is from all this crap you're telling yourself. And there is one. I guarantee it. Maybe you tell yourself, well, I can't find a relationship. Well, you know what? That means you get to keep your freedom. You don't have to answer to anybody. That means you don't have to risk getting hurt. That means you don't have to put yourself out there. You get to whine, and all your friends feel so sorry for you. Oh, you're so amazing. I can't believe you can't get a partner. You don't really want one. Or you'd manage to find, I mean, it's the truth. Or, um, this is a little off tangent, but getting what you focus on. So several years ago, a friend of mine got divorced. And she'd gone out with a bunch of women from work, and she called me the next day in a panic. Oh my God, I'm not ready for this. I'm like, well, no, you're not. You just divorced. But we were talking about these women the whole night were just bad mouthing men and how much men suck and how awful men are. And I finally said, hold up. If that's the net that you're casting, if that's the lens through which you choose to see the opposite sex, whether it be men or women, then guess what? It's all you're going to find is crappy people because that's what you're looking for. So I asked her, did they say anything positive? And I got her to realize that, maybe those women aren't the best women for her to be spending time with on that, at least not in that, a night out on the town kind of light. Maybe they'd be better for going to lunch with if they're really good people. Although I'll be honest, if they're that negative, they're probably not worth going to lunch with either. One that I really struggle with, I can't lose weight. Bullshit. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Is it harder for me? Yes, it is. I have adrenal problems. I have thyroid problems. My body's a little bit of a mess, but I could. It's harder, but I still can. But I fell into that trap for the longest time. And you know what that allowed me to do? It allowed me to avoid responsibility. It allowed me I could eat whatever I wanted. I didn't have to worry about it. I mean, I still did. I always felt terrible after I ate junk, but the things that we tell ourselves, all that crap that you lie to yourself about, it serves a purpose. And if you want to really get past whatever it is, you've got to figure out what that benefit is, what that purpose is that crap is serving. So now you've made your list. You've gone through and you've figured out your benefits. So now what? Now let's talk about getting rid of your BS. So you go back through your list and you journal about it. And you think about those benefits. You're going to have to push yourself here. You're going to have to be really honest. And this is why a lot of people don't do this work. It is not fun to be brutally honest with yourself. It can be rather sobering and humbling. But if you want to fix your life, you've got to do the work. So you've gone through and you're thinking about the benefits, but then you go back through that and look at that list and think, what would my life be like if I could fix this one area? What would change for me? I had my mentor, Doug. I probably mentioned him a lot. Him and his wife are both very influential in my life. I think the world of them. But he's my mentor, so I'm a lot closer to him. But the hell was I going to say? Oh, he asked me a few years ago. I'm always telling people, don't let this health crap become your identity. You can't let your diagnosis become your identity. Well, then Doug hits me with a question. He says, well, Courtney, what would your life be like if you were healthy? And I sat back and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I have no idea. I can't answer that. And I was horrified that I couldn't answer that. But when you live with this and you're in pain all the time, it's been a long time, y'all. It's been well over 15 years living like this. it's sad that I can't imagine. I really have a hard time imagining what would my life be like. But you know, it's a really fun exercise to think about how much my life would change and to think about things that, you know what, I would have the energy to volunteer in my community, which is something that is really meaningful to me, but I don't do it. I don't have the energy. I can't give it the attention that it deserves. I could I could do so many things and I need to focus on that. So look at your list and really put some thought into it. If you could fix that area of your life, what would change? What do you think would change? If you can't imagine it, what would you like for it to be like? What would you like the changes to be? What do you want to see change in your life? And after you've put a lot of thought into it, go back over your original list. And you should be able to see it now for what it truly is, which is just a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of lies. It's a bunch of excuses. It is your scared inner self. It's your scared ego trying to protect you from change. Look, even if you're not very happy with where you're at in life, here's the reason why change can be so difficult. For one thing, something in you has to go. The negative part of you is going to have to go away. If you build up the positive side of you, well, that of course creates an inner turmoil. Wait a minute, I don't want to go anywhere. But you kind of have to kill that part of yourself off. And there's also, oh my God, I just lost my train of thought again. Son of a biscuit. Oh, sorry. I told you I didn't feel very good. Um, whatever you think of your circumstances currently, you've made it. You have survived. You may not be thriving, but you've survived to this point. And your ego, your inner voice, whatever you want to call it, it's like, hold up on the change there, sister. We're doing okay because your brain just wants you to survive. That's the goal. You've survived. That's why it can be so hard to change. That's why if you're sitting there wondering what the hell is wrong with me that I don't do this work. A, it's hard, and B, we're not wired to do this. It's difficult. It's hard to look at yourself. It's hard to step out from that comfort zone. But you got to remember your comfort zone, it doesn't mean it's a good thing. It just means it's familiar. That's why that's why a lot of people have a hard time leaving abusive relationships. It's comfortable in the sense of it's familiar. They have a pretty good idea of what to expect. Whereas the big old scary world out there, who knows what you're gonna find. But you know what? You need to reframe all those excuses that you tell yourself. You need you need to turn them into something a lot more positive. So instead of essentially I get to feel victimized by being unhealthy. I could turn it into, you know what? I'm getting healthy and I'm empowering myself. I'm taking charge of my life. See that with your relation, whatever, just reframe whatever you're struggling with, put it in a more positive light because that's going to give you a lot more power. It again, attitude is everything. It's how you talk to yourself that matters. And you know what? You need to get a move on. You ain't getting any younger. I am a woman of a certain age. I'm usually not, that's funny because I usually have no problem saying how old I am, but I am a woman of a certain age. I'm sure as hell not, I'm not going backwards. I don't want to go backwards, frankly. But you know what? I want to make the best of the time I have left. And right now, this ain't it. You got to quit wasting your life. You've got to believe, you've got to know deep down in your heart that you're not ruled by your past. I used to be, I'm still not real proud of my past. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be horrifyingly ashamed of it. I mean, just mortified. I didn't want any when I moved back to my hometown, I'm like, "Oh my god, they all know me. They all know what I used to be like." Although ironically, I was the biggest train wreck when I lived outside for a few years, but but like when Facebook first started, I didn't wanna connect with people that I'd gone to school with. I didn't. I still don't really, to be honest. There's a couple people I wish I'd have kept in touch with, but not that many, just because I'm not that person. And I don't have anything in common with most of them anymore. But again, there's a few people that I do like and I wish I would have kept up with, but I am not ruled. A dog just slammed into the door that scared me. I'm not ruled by any of that. And a few years ago, I had the realization that, I did do a lot of really horrible things when I was young. I also have been through a lot of really horrible things, but all of those experiences, the good and the bad, they've made me who I am today. And yeah, I could definitely use some improvement in my life, but overall, I like who I am. I really do. And I wouldn't be here without all of those experiences. So you need to look at it from that perspective. You've got to forgive yourself because you only have one shot at this life. There is no point in dragging all that baggage around and being miserable. You deserve better than that. You need to love yourself. You need to love yourself enough to give up the crap that you tell yourself and figure out a way to be happy. I'm not saying every day is going to be full of joyful celebration, but you should be having more good days than bad. And if I can have more good days than bad fighting with these health issues, and I really do, even dealing with this freaking long COVID mess, I try to make the best out of every day. Anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, there's a shocker, right? But that's all I have. I hope you'll have a great night. Um, I don't even know what else I was gonna say. I am tired. I'm gonna go make dinner and I won't be to bed early. I got Bible study tonight, and I'm happy about it. I like my Bible study group a lot. I really do. It's very, very, very meaningful to me, but I'm also tired and don't feel good. So I'm like, oh, it's so late because it starts at 7:30 and goes to like 9. And when I whine about it, I try to remember that the guy who leads it is 3 hours ahead of me. So it's, going till midnight for him. So I should quit complaining. But anyway, I hope you'll have a great night. I will be back Wednesday at 5 o'clock Alaska time.